training. Remember, it's deed, not breed. The Dogo Argentino was bred for big game hunting as well as bravery and protective instincts. But these behavioural traits, of course, along with large, muscular, powerful build, led the Dogo Argentino being banned in the UK. So let's talk to Jesse Sternberg. Bubba is with him. Bubba is 13 weeks old. Jesse is a dog trainer and author. He joins us from Canada. Hello, Jesse. How are you doing?
Hey, Peter. Thanks for having me.
It's interesting because we hear this sort of catch-all phrase, dangerous dogs. But, I mean, are there breeds of dog by their nature that are dangerous, or are they just bad owners, do you think?
Bad owners. Bad owners, and just to describe bad ownership, I would just say emotionally not in control. They get anger, they want to protect, they get scared, they want to feel protected. It's similar to the gun issue. A pet is a pet, but that being said, Bubba is not a simple dog for us. It's not easy to raise.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of time and effort. We can see Bubba, if you're watching on Talk TV, you can see Bubba's walking around in the background there. I think he's playing with something. He's got his teeth around something. He's clearly a very playful animal. But what made you decide to invest all this time and effort and your own sort of time as well into Bubba?
Oh, Peter, great question. Well, I'm a man on a mission. I'm in full alignment with sort of my heart. I want to be of service to mankind. I want to...
And dogkind.
And dogkind and all beings, earth, everything. I don't want to get too out there, but basically my heart is very strongly connected to all things with life. And with Bubba, I know I can make a point. I know I can get right in the limelight. I know he's right on the edge of, controversy. But at the same time, he is magnificent and spectacular. And I think he's going to be the canvas of the artwork that just sort of shows the principles in my book without me having to talk too much, Peter.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because you've made this choice, and you're using him kind of in a nice way, in a lovely way, as an example. I mean, what message do you think needs to get out there about dogs that are allegedly dangerous?
Well, conquer your fear a little bit. As soon as we get triggered in fear, our brain just starts telling stories and we're not in the present moment. So get a little present with your relationship to things that scare you a little bit. And maybe that's not the animal for you, but at the same time, you don't have to point your finger and get so aggressive and launch a hate attack. All dogs in the wrong hands, a Chihuahua has nipped a baby's face. Everything is...
Well, it's interesting you mention that, because what would you say to people who say, actually, I don't want a dog like Bubba around my kids. I don't want someone in my neighborhood with dogs that appear to be dangerous or aggressive or whatever. What would you say to those people?
It's already happened. I've had Bubba for 5 weeks, and I live in a beautiful apartment building, beautiful community of people. And it rubbed them the wrong way completely, just researching the breed. And they got pretty serious and they asked me to leave. They asked my landlady to ask me to leave, and I left. Mm-hmm. But I left like a gentleman. I made sure that every moment Bubba was in the public eyesight, he was like a gentleman's baby dog. There's a responsibility. If you're going to walk around with a gun on the street, you have to have a license for it. I'm not saying he's a gun, but I am saying I have a high level of etiquette in terms of not triggering other people's fear. And I think the way that I'm training Bubba is to be representative of calm and benevolence. And he's asking to go out to pee. He's scratching on my door.
We'll let you go in a couple of... Can he hold on a couple of minutes if we keep you here?
It doesn't matter. We'll see what happens.
You've written a book called Enlightened Dog Training. That's what you're trying to do with Bubba. We're seeing a few lovely photographs that you've sent us with Bubba as well. How can we train our dogs in an enlightened way? What are the sort of the key bits of that?
Okay, well, long-term strategy. Be present with them. Don't get a dog because you want a stuffed animal. Get a dog because you're raising a soul, and that soul is going to be connected to you and never not paying attention to you.
Absolutely correct.
So give it your best every moment because it's a present moment creature. You can't just be a good dog owner when you want to be. You have to be a good dog owner when you don't want to be.
Yeah.
You have to be in the moment and attuned.
It's a huge responsibility to look after any animal, and people should be take that responsibility very, very seriously.
For sure, for sure. It's just like having a child. In fact, my best clients, they make a joke. They say, my dog's good because I made all my mistakes on my children.
What would you say to Jace, who's been in touch? He says, of course there are dangerous dogs. They're specifically bred for particular personality traits. It's why you never see a pit bull sheepdog, and Labradors don't attack lions like a Rhodesian Ridgeback. What would you say to Jace on that?
Well, there's a little bit of nature and nurture in that. And I would say 100% agree. If you just allow that nature to take its course and you provide it with that kind of environment, and what that means is you're teaching it how to attack and to protect from an early age, it's going to fall in line with that. And if you're irresponsible with that, that's sort of your own mistake. They do have a strong jaw, a very powerful jaw. Bite. This kind of scares me into being sober and serious. They have a bite pressure stronger than a lion. So when my daughter, who's 8, is over and she's playing tug of war with him, she understands that she wants this dog to respect her, not to be her friend. And you know what? That's true with a goldfish. Yeah. That's true with all of nature. So that's in the principles of the book. And so far, my daughter's scratch free, and she's grown into quite a woman, just learning how to raise him.
Sure. Well, Jesse, thank you so much. We wish you good luck, and maybe you check in with us in a couple of months, see how Bubba's getting on. Maybe we could do this again. Jesse Sternberg and Bubba there. He's 13 weeks old at the moment. Jesse is a dog trainer and an author based in Toronto, Canada. And he got up a little bit early to do that interview. It was very, very kind of him. And John from Lincolnshire says, interesting PC, your pronunciation of Liverpool